Hello, good evening, bonsoir, Saha, Theophil, good evening, hello Bridget, hello Julia, hello Niemba. Uh, can you guys hear me well? From 0 to 10, how is it? Hello Penelope, hello Michelle, so nice to talk again with you guys. Yeah, okay, so for tonight we have a new class, new material. Then perfect. Okay. Well, I have prepared a portfolio project management dashboard that you may have seen. I also shared the link with you in the email and here in the description of this video. You can also check this out. And yeah, we are going to do that tonight. Okay, I think this is going to take around 1.5 hours, 2 hours maximum. Okay, this is not going to take 3 hours like the accounting report that we have done previously. That one was a very long one, but for tonight it's going to be shorter. And just to recap, just to remind you, first, watch me doing. Okay, that's our method. Okay, oh, let me change my webcam here. Let me change the place. Okay, so let's recap. First, you are going to watch. Okay, watch me doing. And in a second time, oh, and of course, uh, make yourself comfortable, take notes, okay, of the process. And in a second time, you try to imitate me. Okay, you can consult this video, check how I'm doing, and then you try to copy. And in the third time, that is when you are going to learn this for real. Okay, when you are going to try this by yourself, it could be in a new project, in a project in your company, or if you want to do this project all over again, but without consulting this video. Okay. And the materials available, I will share the materials that I'm going to use here with you. And I have here two type of students. I have students enrolled in my complete course, in the complete program of the Career Boost with Power BI. And we have free students here who are also welcome to join us. And you, both of you can download the databases that we are going to use and also the backgrounds, the PNG file that I'm going to use, and the editable PowerPoint file with all the backgrounds for you to customize only the students from the complete course. And you can also download the complete Power BI file. Okay, this is also already available for you. If you want, you can download this on Hotmart. So let me show you on Hotmart how it looks like. So this is the Hotmart platform, and here in the bonus number 8 we have the Power BI portfolio. Okay, and here we have the accounting dashboard, and this second one that is the project management dashboard for civil construction. And here you can download all the files, including the background and the Power BI file, the project, the final file. Okay. So I believe this is going to be fair with everybody. And well, let me introduce you. Let me show you how. Oh, before this, let me tell one more thing. And for the free students, these materials are going to be limited, are going to be available for a limited time, okay? Not for very long. So if I were you, I would try to download this, and I will upload this in the link in the description after this class ends. I don't want you to download right now. I want you to concentrate and watch the class, okay? Don't try to do at the same time that I'm doing. If you open the Google Drive folder right now, you will not find this file. Okay, I will upload this after the class. And yes, Anika, until the end. Uh, okay, I see some familiar names here in the chat, some students, and I can see some new names. Hello, Bright. Hello. Hello, Noel. Sami. Okay, Alexis. Perfect. And just to remind you, I have designed this framework. That is the framework I use to explain to my students and for my clients how a Power BI project works. And I believe all of you guys that are here, you must be familiar with this framework, but never I can get never I can get I oh I'm sorry, I never get tired of showing this. Okay. So I'm going to focus here tonight in the visualization part, okay? First, of course, we have the database. We are going to work with an Excel file with all the data, and we are going to load this into Power BI, that is the ETL. We're not going to face any big challenges with the ETL. There's no big problem for tonight. And the data model is going to be very simple as well, and the measures, no problem as well. But we are going to focus in the visualization, okay? That I believe for project management, for this subject, is the most important part because it doesn't involve any complex calculation, and it's more about taking care on how we show the data for the users and if is it easy or not to understand what's going on. Okay, so we're going to focus here in the visualization. Well, and let me show you what we want to achieve tonight. So this is the project's portfolio for our company, and our company works with civil engineering, and we have many projects, and we have this dashboard to monitor the costs of this portfolio of all the projects at the same time. We're going to check the duration if the duration of these projects are meeting the requirements, and also the workload. Okay, it's different the duration because here is we are talking about the days, and the workload is about hours that are applied to each project. And of course, we can compare this with two type of scenarios. Okay, we have the forecast and we have the baseline. What is the difference between these two comparisons? The first one, the baseline, we are going to compare with the initial plan. So every project when we start, actually before starting, we build a plan. Okay, and in this plan, you're going to define the budget, the costs, the duration, the tasks, and so on. And here in this dashboard, we are able to compare the actual values with this baseline that it was previously planned, or if we want, we can compare with the forecast that is some values that we can modify across the project execution. Okay. And of course, we have here another filter if we want to filter one specific project to visualize only the information regarding this project, okay? And as we have many projects, we have many project managers, okay? In this case, we have these 4 project managers, and we can see the budget consumption for each one and how many projects each of them have. And when we talk about project management, we also have an S curve. Okay, we have a S curve that is in general presented in a chart like this, that we have here the time. Okay, we have all the months of the year, and we're going to sum over the time the total costs of these projects. Okay, if we are talking about just one or the entire portfolio, we are going to sum the costs of all of them, and we of course can compare this with the forecast or the baseline value. Okay, so that's a very important metric of project management. And here below, we have the Gantt chart that is very important for project managers, and when you want to present the project execution for other stakeholders, this is very useful as well. So here we are going to have 5 projects, okay? 5 projects: equipment installation, security rules, fuel pump, logistic process, and warehouse rebuild. So we are going to have these 5 projects, and if you want, you can also enable the table visualization, in which it is more simple, but if you want to resume the information to present this more easily, you can. And if you select one project, one specific project, you can click here in this button, see project details, and then you go to the next page, that is the project detail page, okay? And here I have selected the logistics process, and here we have the summarization of this project. So we have the actual cost, the duration, the workload of this specific project. We have also the date of start, finish, status, like this one is ongoing, and how many tasks are related to this project. And this one is Mark's project related to the quality area. So you have this information, and of course here you can see all the details for this project, all the tasks that we have in the database. And we have formatted here in this Gantt chart as well, that shows the percentage of each task, if it's being uh, done or not, okay? So it becomes easy, and you can also see this in a table. Other people, some other people prefer to see this in a table, and you can also do this, okay? Well, that's pretty much everything that we're going to do tonight. Let me see some questions. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the visuals. I hope so, okay? And yeah, okay, hello Sergian, hello Luisito, hello Jimmy, hello Mira, Olivia, hello. Yeah, perfect. And for this video, for this class, we don't have a certificate. Okay, this is for learning purpose. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see you guys are very excited. And we also have here tonight online Professor Fabio, the guy from the expert track that teaches you about SQL and Power Automate. He's online here. Okay, I'm very happy. Uh, okay, so let's start. Let's open this folder that you will download later. So in this folder, I will share with you these files. First, we have the Excel file with the database. We have a JSON file here that is the theme, the Power BI theme that we are going to use. We are going to load later on Power BI with all the colors already defined. It's going to be easier for you. And we have here the assets folder. And in this assets folder, we are going to find some icons like this arrow and the table that I used here. Okay, so you can find in this folder. And also the background, this background that I created on PowerPoint to show you that this can be very simple. If you are a student from the complete course, you can download the background, the PowerPoint file, and you can edit, you can change my logo, you can do anything that you want, okay? And that's yours. And we have here the pictures of the project managers, all right? If you want to use this later. And yeah, that's it. So let's open the Excel file, and I'm going to show you the structure. Okay. Well, first, we have three tabs. We have three tabs here, three tables in this file. The first one, we have the projects, okay? We have a list of projects. So we have one column with the project ID. We have another column with the project's name. So we have fuel pump, equipment installation, security rules, warehouse rebuild, and so on. And then we have a finish date for each of them, start date. We have the area they belong to, the manager responsible, and the status. So if this is ongoing, or if it's a finished project, okay? So that's it. In this case, we can also see here the managers. The managers table is very simple. We only have their names, and the image URL, because if we want to load these images on Power BI in the report, we are going to tell Power BI what is the URL, and Power BI will will get this image from this URL. Okay, so if you download this file, you can see that I used my own domain to host these images. You can use this as well, there's no problem. If you want to substitute, you can upload this into your OneDrive or SharePoint folder or Google Drive and so on. Okay, there's no problem. And then you need to substitute this link here. And finally, we have the tasks. The tasks table, you can see that's a larger table. And here we have all the information regarding the details of cost, of duration, of workload, for each task, okay? Because as you can see, we don't have like a final budget for the project here. Here we only have the finish date, the start date, and the area, very simple data, and all the details are in the task table. And here in the task table, we have one ID for each task. However, you can see that they repeat. These numbers can repeat. So we can have the same ID happening twice, three times, or even more. Okay. And why? Because each of them, each of these IDs belong only to one project. Okay. If we check here, for example, in the project ID column, we can see that this number two, this task number two belongs to the first project. This task number two belongs to the project number three, and so on. Okay, so each row is one task, and this task belongs to one project only. All right. So let's check the other columns. We have the actual cost, we have the actual duration, the actual workload, and then we have the other columns regarding the forecast. So we have the forecast cost, the forecast workload, and what else? We also have the finish date and start date for each task. That is very important. We have another column here, the EDT, that is like an index, okay? So we can check the order of them. We have also the project ID, that is very important because in this way, using this column, we can connect this column from the task table with the projects table, okay? And we have finally the task name. So here, for example, create the scope statement. And then we have the create the communication plan, plan the risk, plan the schedule, and so on, okay? And the criticality, that is very important. So we have here non-critical and critical tasks. And here we have the last three columns related to the baseline. And remember, the baseline is the initial plan. So when you are starting to plan a project, you are going to define the baseline cost, the baseline workload, the baseline duration. And if your estimation changes during this project execution, this new value will be the forecasted, okay? Will be the forecast cost, duration, and workload. Okay. Yeah, I believe that until this point you don't have any doubts, right? It's not complex. It's very simple to understand the scenario, and I believe I have many people here with project management background. And now let's start this with our project on Power BI. So I create here a new file, and let's go. Let's start. As we have only one file, and this is going to be simple from the ETL point of view, I'm not going to complicate things here tonight. I will just get this data straight from the Power BI, from the Excel workbook. Okay, So let me open here, projects database, that's the file. And inside this file, we have the three tables that we need. So yeah, let me start with these managers. Let's transform data. This is going to be very simple. Yeah. So yeah, the managers table, do you think it's going to be a fact or a dimension table? Tell me here. Okay, so the first one, let me promote these as we have the headers in the first row. I need to promote these headers. So let me click here, use first row as headers. It's a dimension, Anika. Yeah, right. So let's call this the D managers, okay, dimension managers. And then we have the manager here, it's a text, image URL is also a text. Done. And let's go for the next one. So here I want to add a new source from Excel workbook as well. Let me select the same file. Yes, Penelope. Yes, Tishipso. Yes, Teofil. Yes, you are all right. And for the projects, now let me select. Uh, in the projects, what do you think? We have here in, this data regarding the project ID, the project name, the finish date, start date, the area, the manager, and the status. Do you think this is going to be a dimension or a fact table? So yeah, let's check here. The column names are looking all right. The project, okay. Finish date. Well, finish date here we have some hours. We have the hour. I don't want the hour. I don't want to work with hours here. So I will need to modify. And the area looks good, the manager and the status, okay. So yeah, here instead of date time, let's change this to date. Let's replace the current. And here as well, let's change this to date. Perfect. Okay. Let's simplify things. We don't need to check at which time we are executing each task or project, okay? So, okay, we have here in this second table, some people saying that this is a fact table. And yeah, I believe uh, most people said that this is a fact table. Okay, let's continue for the next one. Let's continue for the next one. We have the third one, the last one, that is the task table. Tasks table, yeah. So I ask you once again, do you think the tasks table is a fact or a dimension table? Uh, okay, Ecstasy, let me zoom sometimes here more often. So yeah, here in the tasks table, we have the tasks ID, okay, the actual cost. As we are talking about cost, this is like a whole number. In this case, I prefer to use a decimal number, okay? I prefer to use decimal numbers. Let's replace this current step. The actual duration, okay, it's a decimal number, it's okay. In the workload is also a decimal number, fine. The forecast cost, yeah, let's change for decimal number, replace. And yeah, workload is fine. Oh, no, it's not. Here, let's go for the decimal number as well. The finish and start date, it's good. The EDT, if you remember the EDT, there was a point, there was a dot. So it didn't change this using the correct format. So yeah, as we are not, let me see. Yeah, I will have to change this using locale. Okay. Oops, where is it? Yeah. Let me change this using locale. Uh, where is the window? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so let's change for decimal places. And as it was a point, it's the standard from United States, right? So let me select English. English, United States. Where is it? Okay. And yeah, it didn't change because here in this step, we already changed this before, okay? So I need to position this first. Now you can see that's like a decimal place, okay? And now let's go back for the last step that it was changed type when we changed the other columns. The project ID could be a whole number, there's no problem. The task is a text, criticality is a text, the baseline cost, as we are talking about costs, it's a decimal number. The baseline workload, yeah, also decimal number. And the baseline duration, yeah, decimal number. Okay, so let me get back to the chat. We have here Royalty asked, what is the dimension and what is the fact table? Well, we say that the dimension table is the type of table that we store values related to some dimension in reality in our project that will help to explain some fact. And what is a fact? A fact could be one sale that we have done in reality. In this case, one fact could be the task that we are executing. And this is going to depend on the point of view, okay? So if we say that each task here is like a fact, we are going to have a fact table of tasks, all right? So we have the F tasks. And about the project, well, the project is something that is happening in reality. This table is going to get longer as we progress, as we execute more projects in our company. So this is going to get longer. And this could be also a fact table, right? And here you can have some diverge opinion because you can also have like a different table just to give more details about the projects that are happening. So you can have a dimension table of projects at the same time, okay? This could be ambiguous sometimes, right? But this always depends on the point of view of your analysis. If this is helping you to explain some fact, probably it's a dimension, okay? So in our case, the projects, I believe they are going to help to explain the tasks, okay? So I believe this is a dimension. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I believe, and most people here have answered that projects is a fact. I've seen here in the chat, most people have answered this. But in my opinion, the projects here is going to be a dimension table. Okay, that's my personal opinion. So, because thinking from this point of view, the projects are going to explain the tasks. Okay. Uh, yes, Dominic, this session will be recorded and you can watch later. Uh, and I'm sorry for your case. Don't worry. And yeah, don't worry. You can watch this later, okay? And I'm sorry to know that. Uh, Surgeon, for example, if we look at projects as holders of data, then projects are facts and details in the tables is going to be dimensions. Yes, exactly, Surgeon. So here, actually, these columns, like the finish date, the start date, we can get them from the fact from the task table, right? So this is not really like the guide. We can do this if we delete this. We can do this project in the same way because this data we can get from the F tasks. And here I have just added these columns to make the process with DAX easier. Okay, so in fact, we in a real project, we don't need to have these for finish date and start date because they are here. We just need to get the first the earliest date for the task that is going to be beginning of the project, and we get the last date of this project in the task table that is going to be the end of the project. Okay. So this is not really the guide, okay? So that's why I consider this dimension table. I believe that's a very nice discussion to have, okay? Yes, Top Crown, you have checked the link. I will upload the file after the class ends, okay? Because I want you to pay attention to the class right now, so later you can practice. And here we can have this conversation, and it's going to be a very rich interaction. Okay, so I have loaded these three tables, and let's check what we have here. You can see that Power BI connected these three tables. Let's leave the task here down below. We have the managers. Yeah, we have the connection with the manager in the project. Each project has one manager. And in the dimension of managers, we have the URL that later we are going to get the picture of this manager. It's going to be really important. And here in the let me see which field. Yeah, project ID. We have the uh, project ID in the F tasks. Okay, so we can discover which project has these tasks. And what is missing here? What is missing? Yeah, all the condolences to our colleague Dominique Mafanel. Yeah. So, guys, what do you think about the what is missing here in our project? Do you think we miss any table? Yeah, we exactly, Penelope. We need the D calendar. Yeah, we we always need a D calendar. Okay, so let's create this. I will use DAX for creating this. As this project is not complex, I will create with DAX. Otherwise, if your project gets more complex with more tables, I strongly advise you to create the D calendar using um, the, how can I say, the M language on Power Query. Okay, we have one script for doing this on the course, in the complete course, in the module number 3. Okay, so here in the table view, I will create a new table. Okay, so let's create here a new table. Okay, so let's call this the D calendar. And we are going to use the function called calendar. Okay, using DAX, we have this function. And here we just need to inform Power BI what is the start date and what is the end date of this calendar. And the start date is going to be the minimum. This could be from the D project or from the F tasks. There's no problem. So I will get from the D projects. So let's get from the project start date, okay, the minimum, and the last date that we have in the column of the end of this project. So we're going to get the max function for the what is the name of the, it's finish, yeah, finish date. Okay, so we close these two parentheses and that's it. So now we have this entire column with the first date that we can find. Let's see, in the projects. Oh, let me change this format for you. The finish date and the start date. So the first start date that we have here, the earliest is on February, 11th of February, and the last finish date is on uh, yeah, 30 of December. Okay, so our the calendar it's from the 11th of December until 30, yeah, 30 of December. Okay, and yeah, let me format this as a short date. We don't want the time. And now I want to add some new columns. I want to add the year that is going to be useful for us. I will call this column year, and I will use the function year. And in the date field, we inform the calendar date column. Okay, very simple. Now we get this year from each row. And it's also very useful to get the month. So let's get the month. And if we use the month function, it's going to return a number from 1 to 12. In this case, I'd like to get the month name. Okay, so we have another possibility. We can select the calendar date dot month. So in this way, we get the text. Okay, so it's February. And to show this in a chart, I want to use only the first three characters of this. Okay, so I will add here before the left function. So this is the text, and now I insert the separator, and we inform how many characters that we want. As I want 3, I just add here 3 and close, and that's it. Now we can format uh, later we can format the charts. This is going to be useful. Okay. Yeah. So let me check here. Yeah. All good. Okay. Uh, so yeah, we have done this, and let's connect. We have this new table, the calendar. Let's connect this date. We gotta choose either the start date of or the end date of these tasks to be the guide for our D calendar. In our case, I will choose the start. Okay, I believe the start is better, and then I will drag and drop the start date from the F tasks to the D calendar date. I believe the start date is a better guide. Okay, so let me see here. We have, yeah, we have our model, data model pretty much figured out. Okay, it's all right. So now let's start with this visualization. Uh, as you can see, let's open the real project. Here, let's start with the actual costs and the duration and the workload. Let's summarize the entire project with these 3 initial fields. So let's start by loading the background. Okay, let me open. If you remember how to do this, we need to click here in the white canvas, and here we open the options for formatting the page. And here we add the canvas background. And here in the canvas background, I will select the portfolio.png. Nothing has happened because here we have the transparency of 100. Let me insert 0. And the image fit, let me select fit. Okay, this is important, fit. Okay, so we already have our background. We can start creating the visuals on top on this background. So the first thing, I want to create the actual cost KPI. That's very important. So first, let me create one card, and I will drag and drop here just one column to check the value, okay? And these values that we are going to get, they are from the fact table, from the F tasks. And here, I will select the actual cost first. Okay, so yeah, this is the, if we sum the entire table of tasks in the entire column actually of costs, we're going to get this value. Okay, so this is like the total cost of all the projects. Yeah, and let's go to get some inspiration from the real project. And here you can know. Let's try to reverse engineer this project. Okay, as you can see here, we have one label with this actual cost, the 598,000. That is exactly this value that we have here. Okay, and here we have one label saying that this is the actual cost. And here below, I created this visualization to compare the actual versus the budget or the forecast. Okay, this is going to be based in the filter you select here. Okay, but anyways, this is going to be fixed always because this is like, let's say, 100% of what we can spend. And here is what we are really spending. Okay, so this may change and we expect this bar to change. And to create this visual, I used some percentages. Okay, so yeah, let's see here how we can do this. The first thing, let's do the top value here, the actual cost. For creating this, I used let me see the name. It was the multi-row card. Multi-row card. It was something like this, but let's turn off this background. Let's turn off this. And let's change the callout values, of course, because it's black and we can't see. Let's change the category label as well because it's not very nice to read. Yeah, I will pick here a color that is kind of grease. It's a shade of gray, not grease. Grease is in another language. A shade of gray. And yeah, that's it. And let's call this just actual cost. Oh, just one thing before. Here, instead of dragging and drop these fields, it's better to work with measures. Okay, so yeah, let's create the measure. Let's not use this type of drag and drop. So I will create here a new table that is going to be the 0 measures. And if you have watched measures, if you have watched many classes from me before, I always create this in order to better document the project. So all the measures I will store inside this section here, okay? So yeah, let me create this new measure and I will call this as actual cost. Actual cost. And here is very simple. It's going to be the sum of the actual cost column from the F task table, right? And instead of this one, let's drag and drop this one. Very simple. And here, let's use 0 decimal places and let's enable the 1000 separator. Okay, so now it's looking better. And this empty column one, we can delete, okay? There's no problem. We can delete from model. And after doing this, you can see that this icon changes and then it shows that it's a calculation section instead of a regular table, as you can see here, okay? So it's different. Well, yeah, so far so good at this point. I believe these values are kind of large. Oh, and one very important thing to help us to format this, I will load the theme, the theme that I have prepared previously. So, for example, if I click here and I want to change these colors, these are the default colors of Power BI, okay? But we can load the JSON file that you can find in the folder. So we can click here in Browse for Themes, and let's open from the folder the Power BI theme I have prepared previously. Okay, so now we are working with this theme, file successfully added, and your custom report theme is ready to use. Got it. And now if you can already see that a few things have changed, like this purple here in the background changed. The filters pane now is purple. It has changed. The color, the font color here is white. So you can see that it has changed many things. And if we open now the color options, the theme colors, you can see that it has already applied all these colors that we want to work with, okay? This is going to be really important. Okay, so guys, until this point, please send yes if you are with me, or no if you are not. If you have any doubt until this point, please let me know. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, Annika. Yeah. Okay, Lawrence. Yes. Gerard. Perfect. Okay. So let's carry on. We have loaded the theme. We have added here the first measure. Okay. And let's do this then. Now we have calculated the actual cost. Let's calculate the other budget, the comparison for the baseline and for the forecast. So let's do the same thing here. I will copy this text and I will create a new measure. And this is like a practice for productivity. I know that, for example, for the forecasted measure in the column, uh, we have the same structure. So I will click twice in the actual name and I will hit Control Shift L, Control Shift L in the keyboard, and Power BI is going to select all the occurrences of this word in my in my DAX code here. Okay, and instead of actual, we want the forecasted. Okay, and then I hit enter, and we have a new measure. So let's do this once again for the baseline. And yeah, I will paste two clicks in the actual word, Control Shift L, select everything. Now it's the baseline. And I press enter. And we have the other measure ready. Okay, very fast. If you have doubts, I mean Control Shift L. Okay, that's the shortcut in your keyboard for doing this. Very useful. Okay, so here we have the actual, and yeah, let's start creating this chart here below. And for this chart, I will try to use here, I think it's 100% stacked bar chart. Yes, let's see if it's this one or it's the cluster bar chart. No, yeah, it's not this one. It's the cluster. Yeah, if you are doing this, you will select this one. Okay, cluster bar chart. And in here we are going to need the actual cost and the baseline. Oh yeah, Tarcísio, but yeah, you remember that we can change in the slicer. Sometimes if we select forecast or baseline, this value is supposed to change. So for example, right now it's showing 890,000. And this is regarding the baseline. And if I change the forecast is 900,000. Okay, so it's different. And how we are supposed to do this? Because if I select this static value of the baseline, this is not going to work. So we are going to create a parameter for this. Uh, this is going to be simple. I have used this example a few times. So let's recap. Oh, and first of all, let me turn off this title. It's too large. Yeah, let's leave like this. So yeah, we can understand what's going on. Because our goal here is more like to have this chart right here, but without the x-axis. We don't want the x-axis. And what else? We don't want the legend as well. Okay, so it's more or less like this. Okay, to demonstrate the progress. But this measure of the budget or the forecast is wrong. So let's create this parameter. And to create this parameter, you need to open the modeling tab. And here we have the option for new parameter. Okay, and here in the new parameter, we are going to select uh, fields. And we are going to tell Power BI these two fields that we can have. That could be the baseline or the forecast. Okay, so yeah, let's call this parameter comparison because we can compare with the baseline or the forecast. And here, let me see. If we select, let me see how I have done this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if we want to add the baseline or the forecast, let me put both of them here and let's create. Okay, well, you can see that Power BI has added this new slicer to the table that is called comparison, this name that we chose. And here we have the baseline cost and the forecasted cost. Okay, we have both of them here. And I will position this above. So let me change, instead of this vertical list, I will change to drop down. Okay, I think this is going to look more elegant. And the slicer header, I believe it's too large. Yeah, like this. So you can select, oh, and the values, the background here. Let's use this dark, yeah, dark purple. Is looking better. So when we select the baseline cost, we want this value to be the baseline cost. And when we have here the forecasted, this is going to be to change as well. Okay, so let me see. Uh, we gotta create a new measure now. We gotta create a new measure because with this new measure, that is going to be the comparison measure, we're going to get if we want to compare with the baseline or the forecast. Okay, yeah. Uh, so let's create this new one that is going to be the comparison. So let's call this comparison cost. okay? And to check if either one is selected, we are going to use the function of the selected value. Okay, so first we are going to check if it's one is selected, we're going to use one. If the other is selected, we're going to use the other measure. So let's use here if the selected value from the comparison. Look, when we create this parameter, Power BI is going to create this new table. It's like a virtual table, not exactly a virtual table, but like a logical table to check which values are being selected. And every time that you have this parameter, this table have one column called order, comparison order, okay? So we are going to check which value is selected in this column, and based on this, we can know which value we need to present. So let me give you one example first. Let me leave this comparison cost to 0. Let me open the comparison. Oh, look. So Power BI created this comparison table, and here we have the comparison order, which is 0 for the baseline and 1 for the forecast. Okay, so if the selected value of the order column is 0, we know that's the baseline, and if it's 1, we know that it's about the forecast. Okay, so let's go back to the measure comparison cost. Let's continue. If the selected value of the comparison order equals to 0, it means that we need to present the baseline cost. So let's call the baseline cost. And if it's not 0, we just have another condition, the else condition here, that is the forecast. Okay, we don't need to create another if selected value equals to 1. We don't need this. Yeah, so now we have this comparison cost, and instead of the baseline cost in my visual, I will select this comparison cost. Okay, so now you can see that with the baseline selected, I can see here that we have around 890,000. And oh, let's add some decimal places here because it's hard to read. Yeah, we have around 890,000. And if I select here forecasted cost, now I have 903,000. Okay, so it's already working. So far, so good. Well, we need to change these colors, and let's create a standard here for the colors. When we are talking about the comparison cost, it could be the budget or it could be the baseline or the forecast. Let's use gray. Okay, let's use gray. And always when we are talking about cost, when we talk about cost, we use this shade of blue. Okay, so let's try to find this for the actual cost, that is this shade of blue. Okay, and voila, that's it. Okay, let's try to reposition these better to make them fit and to look interesting. Yeah, so let's compare with the results that we have here. Yeah, we are still missing this percentage, that is how much we have advanced, we have used of the forecast. And for this, we of course need a percentage. So we need to create now a new measure for comparing this percentage, right? So let's create this new measure called percentage comparison cost. Let's create this new measure. Percentage comparison cost. And let's use the divide function. And this is going to be the division between the actual cost and the comparison cost. Okay, And if we have any error, we can add this alternate result that is equal to 0. Okay? And if there is any error, it's going to present 0. All right, so let me create here one card, and let's use this comparison cost. Oh yeah, let's format this as a percentage as well. You need to click here in the measure and select the percentage. And 0 decimal places are enough. Okay, so let's turn off the category label and let's position this right here. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's too large. Let's make this 16, maybe, no, 14. Okay, yeah, now it's starting to look more with the project that we have here. All right, so we have finished. And for the other two sections that we have here for the duration and the workload, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same standard. Okay, so let me change here the position. Yeah, the sides. Yeah, let's see if you guys have doubts. Can you have a conditional label in that card based on your comparison? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Yes, we can. We can have. Okay, okay, perfect. So to create for the other topics, we just need to copy and paste this. So I will select all of these objects and press Ctrl G, and let's copy and paste. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And now it's a matter of placing them in the same uh, with the same alignment. Okay, align them. You should align to the top, all of them. Okay, so we make sure that they are in the same straight line here, like this. And now let's change the other information. For this now, I will ungroup, Control Shift G. You can ungroup, Control Shift G. And now, instead of the cost, we need to present here the workload, right? So let's create here, I will copy this measure. Let's create the new measure that is going to be the actual workload. So instead of cost, I will substitute this word for workload. Clicking this twice, Control Shift L, and let's type workload. And now we have the actual workload. Perfect. Now I want to create the comparison. No, but to create the comparison, I need the baseline and the forecast. So let's create first. Let's create first the forecast. The forecast workload. I do the same thing. I substitute the word cost for the workload. And the comparison, no, not yet, the baseline. Let's copy the baseline. Let's create a new measure. And instead of cost, it's workload. Okay, and we also need to do this for the duration. Okay, so let me create a new one, the baseline duration. Okay, and of course the forecasted duration, I forgot. Oops, not a new column. Oops. New measure, duration, the forecasted duration, and the actual duration as well. Okay, so we have created these 9 measures that we needed. Now I can create the comparison for the workload and the comparison for the duration. Yeah. So once again, I select one of these words and Control Shift L, duration, and the measure is done. And now let's create a new measure for the workload. Workload. In the baseline workload, let's change. Baseline workload. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can see that you are paying attention. Thank you. Great. So yeah, workload, comparison cost, yeah, duration, forecasted cost, duration, workload. Yeah, all good. Perfect. So now it's a matter of changing these fields. We have here, let's add the workload. No, let's add the duration first. So I will select the actual duration. And here we don't want decimal places. Uh, and you can see that in the original project, I have left an explanation here of days. This we are talking about days. And here in the workload is hours. Okay. Yeah, so let's change the duration in days for the label. And here in the actual cost, I want to, yeah, let's leave like actual cost. There's no problem. And in the chart, let's substitute the actual cost for the actual duration and the comparison cost for the comparison duration. Okay, let's remember to change the color in the bars. In the first one is going to be some dark shade of blue. You can see this one is darker than this one. So let's see if this one, no, it's not this one. Maybe, yeah, I found it's this one. And for the comparison, let's use the gray. Yeah, this gray, this tone of gray. Let's check if it's this one. By standard, I always select the gray here that is in the middle. Let me show you this one. Okay, by standard, I like to select this one because I can remember. And the percentage here we haven't created yet, so let's create the new percentage for the workload, for the duration, I mean. And here it's the duration, and of course for the workload now. Workload. Okay, so now we have created these percentages for the new fields, the duration. Okay, let's format as a percentage. Okay, and yeah, of course, this should be 0 decimal places, just like the first one. And yeah, so you can see that we have 55 here, 62, but if we change, yeah, the cost changed. The cost changed. Let's see about the comparison for the duration. When we select the baseline, we have 607. When we select the forecast, we have also 607. Let's check if this value is correct. Let's see if they haven't changed. When I have here, yeah, 607 in the forecast, and in the baseline, 607. Yeah, it didn't change the duration between the baseline and the forecast. Okay. So now let's do the same thing for the workload, right? Let's start here with the actual workload and the comparison workload. And let's change the colors. This will be like the actual, like this, yeah, light purple. Yeah, I believe it's not the same. Yeah, it's some. It's not the same, or am I mistaken? Yeah, I believe now it's similar, isn't it? Yeah, this one. Okay, and the comparison is the gray color. Okay, and let's change these values. The comparison workload, format this as a percentage as well. And this value for the actual workload, but we want to add here, this is about hours. Perfect. Yeah, I believe these labels are very large, the callout values here. Not actually, not the callout values, the category label. I will leave like 10, okay? Yeah, and also I believe we can lower them a little bit. Yeah, this way is going to stay better aligned like this on the top. Okay, so we have here, oh, also the measure actual workload. I didn't format this with 0 decimal places. And let's compare the values when we change the forecast. So the forecast here is about 7,239. And the baseline is about 739. Let's check if this is right. Uh, yeah, for now it's looking all right. Yeah, I believe it's the same in the original project, and the only condition is if I have made a mistake in the original project as well. Let me check here. Let's not have doubts about this. To check this, if these values are right, I will open the F tasks and I will need to sum the actual workload, right? The actual workload. Let's create here a table. Let's sum the actual, not the actual, I'm sorry, the baseline workload. It's about, I can't read the values here. Yeah, it's about this, and the baseline uh, and the forecast is about, yeah, the same value. Yeah, so it's all right. Okay, the thing that we had changes here, I believe it was about the costs. Okay, perfect. So with this, we finished this first part that we created this slicer, and also about the slicer. In the slicer settings, I prefer to select single select. So the user can only select one of these options at a time, okay? And you can see that uh, only the actual cost has differences, all right? Well, and let's proceed now for the second part here that is about the visualization of the how many projects each manager have and and how is the budget consumption per manager. I need to change this title. This is about they have the same title, but this is about how many projects each manager have. Okay. So let's create this first. Let me see. We're going to use a bar. Yeah, let's use a line and stacked bar to bring the manager name from the D managers, and let's count how many projects. Let's count how many projects from the projects table. How many projects each one have? Okay, very simple. If I drag and drop these fields, it's going to count how many projects each of them have. So here I want to turn off these values of the y axis, and we don't need the title as well. for this y-axis. And in the title of this chart, let's say that this is projects by manager. Okay, and in this way, we don't need the manager written here. Okay, we can turn off this title. All right, and of course, let's enable the data labels so we can see how many projects each one have. Let me see the background. No backgrounds. Okay, and the important thing here for the data visualization is to create a standard for each manager to have one color. Okay, as you can see here, you can, without telling you anything, you only see John, the green color here and here. Okay, so in the equipment installation, and this means that this project belongs to John. If you see here, Mark, who has two projects, you can see that we have here two projects with the same color, and of course, these projects belong to Mark. So we start to create this self-explanation dashboard that people can understand just paying attention, seeing the colors very easily. Okay, do you agree with this? When you first see this, did you have this impression? Let me know. Or if not, tell me as well. And let's define these colors for each manager. And to create these, we are going to tell Power BI this is going to be based on a legend. All right, this is going to be a legend. So I will drag and drop for the legend field the managers. Let me see if I already have here. Yeah, we already have, but uh, yeah, we already have. We don't need to add the legend, but in other cases we would need. In this case, let's change this color directly here. So Mark, I will keep the same color. For John, I will choose the green color. Julia, let's pick this purple. No, I don't like this purple. Let's get. Oh, pay attention that we cannot repeat these columns, these colors that we used here above, okay? Because this color belongs to the cost, this one to the duration, and this one for the workloads. We cannot repeat them. So yeah, Julia could use this shade of purple. There's no problem. Maria, let's select one for Maria. Maria, let's see. Maybe another shade of, yeah, another shade of uh, purple. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Let me change this title because it's too large. Let's leave like 12 or 11 and align to the middle. Okay, so I will copy and paste the same chart, and now let's change this. Let's add the information regarding the budget consumption. Okay, so when we talk about the budget consumption, we are talking about the percentage that we have calculated, right? We have calculated this already. We have here the comparison cost, right? So let's present, instead of the count of projects, the percentage of comparison cost. Okay, so in this way, let me copy and paste and put this in a format of table so you can better understand what's going on. Okay, so here I will, for example, bring the actual cost for each manager and the comparison cost. So you can see what we are saying is that Mark has consumed around 380,000 of this total. okay? And Maria has consumed this 90,000 value out of this total, okay? That's what we are telling in this percentage. And very simple, we have already calculated and it's done. So now let's change the title. Here we mean budget consumption by manager. Okay, very simple and straightforward. Let me change the alignment. Perfect. Okay, so with this, we finished this second part. Okay, and now let's go for the S curve. Let's compare with my original file. Yeah, let's go for the S curve. In the S curve, we need to create a new measure. Oh yeah, Zaina recommended me orange. Yeah, let's change Maria to orange. Thanks for the suggestion. Oh, we don't have orange here in the. I don't want to use red because I like to use red for highlighting bad things. You know, when something is not doing correct, doing well, I like to use red. So yeah, but this could be the orange one, like this. This is not in our color palette here, but I think it matches well. Yeah, like in this one. Uh, so about the S curve, we need to create a measure because let's try to create this and then you understand the situation. For this, I will use this chart here that is called stacked area chart. Stacked area chart. Uh, and let's try to do something here. Let's try to bring the actual cost. You can see that it's only one dot with the total. And this is going to be across the year. Okay, so I will bring the year and the month. Okay, the first thing here, the first situation, you can see that it's starting on April and ending on September because it's using the alphabetical order. So we gotta change this. Let's open the D calendar and let's click in the month of February. We need to change this order. So let's click in the sort by date. And then Power BI says, look, we cannot do this because we don't find, I cannot find one value that has another the same value, you know, because here, for example, we have February, and we have two values. So Power BI couldn't find, uh, let's say, the same order in the other column. So to make this uh, sort, we need to add another column. We are going to need the month number. So we are going to order the months based on their number. Let me create a new column. And this new column will be month number. And it's going to be the month, oh, actually the D calendar date dot month number. Okay. Yeah, and here we have two. So let's select the month column, and then we select here the month number to sort this column. And yeah, no errors. And when we come back here, it didn't change because we need to change this for the year month. Perfect, but it's the opposite. It's ascending, descending actually. So let's select ascending. Yeah. And what is the situation here? You can see that this is the actual cost per month. So it's going up and down. We cannot see the S curve. So we need to create this new measure for the S curve. And yeah, actually I need to select the area chart. Okay, it's the area chart. Because in this stacked area chart, I will add later the comparison cost, and it's going to sum, and we don't want to sum, we just want to compare them, okay? Well, so let's create this new measure. Let's call this S curve, okay? And if you are familiar with the with project management, actually, you know that the S curve is about summing the entire values until that date, all right? And then you can compare the actual versus what you have planned, and you can see if you are meeting the requirement or not, meeting the plan. So for this, we are going to need to calculate the sum, actually the actual cost, that's the measure that we created, the actual cost. And think from this perspective. We need to sum the entire cost of the project or of these projects until that point. And what our chart is doing here is to filter based on each month. And we don't want that, okay? We don't want this. In this case, we want the total until that point in that year, right? So we are going to have this condition. We want to sum everything until that point or sooner, right? So yeah, for doing this, we are going to use the filter function. The filter function. We are going to force Power BI in this measure to calculate the entire value without considering these filters, okay, of month and of course of year. So we are going to filter we want to see the entire table of the D calendar because we are using the D calendar here to filter, okay? So we use the all D calendar because in this way we are going to show the entire table of the D calendar, losing all the filters. And after this, we need to specify this rule that we want, that I told you. We want the D calendar date to be until that point. So if we are on July, we want to sum all the values until July. So let's call the D calendar date minus or equal to the maximum value that we have in uh, the table of tasks, okay? And in the table of tasks, we have the start date. We have the start date, that is the column that we use as a guide. So let's use the maximum of this column. Let's close the filter function and let's close here the calculate function as well. Let's plot this into the chart. And now you can see the difference between the S curve, between the actual value actually, and the monthly values, you know? Look, if we have consumed this, in the next month, we consumed just a little bit, it's going to be summed. And in the next month, we consume this, so this is this plus this plus this, okay? And then we start summing everything, and this line only goes up. Okay, understood? Understood? Tell me here if you have any doubts. Yes, you are finding this fun. I'm happy about it. Okay, so with this, let me delete the actual cost, and we have here the calculation of the total value for the S curve, right? Now, we have to do the same for the comparison, because if I add here the comparison value, comparison cost, we're going to have the same situation. You see, the values go up and down. And let's create the same for the S curve. Let's call this, actually, let's call this actual total cost. Okay. And now let's create the comparison total cost. following the same standard, let's create the comparison. Look, I will substitute here. Also, we don't want to sum the actual cost. We want to sum the comparison cost. That could be either the baseline or the forecast. So let's use comparison, the comparison total cost. That could be, that is the comparison cost. And we are going to filter the entire D calendar. We want to see everything in the calendar without any filter. But we want to filter until the point of that specific date that we have selected in the tasks table. Okay. So let's add, and yeah. So let's change the colors so you can see better. Actually, yeah, the lines, the actual, as we are talking about costs, we need this tone of blue. Okay. So let me check the color. We want this tone of blue. And for the comparison, always the comparison is the gray color. So let's change here, comparison. The color is gray. And oh yeah, let's improve this visualization. Let's improve. First of all, the title. This title is too long. Let's call this S curve, okay? And font size 11. 11? Yeah, 11. And the legend, let's call this total cost first. And the other one will be comparison total cost. Yeah, I believe this way we can understand. Now formatting the x-axis. We already know that we have months here, so I can turn off the month. I can turn off this y-axis title as well. Let's turn off. And about the y-axis here, we have the values. I think it's a good idea to keep the values. However, I'm not a big fan of using like this, 0.5 million. I prefer to use this like 500. Actually, if I have a client that has big numbers like this, we cut all the numbers to 1000. We divide everything to 1000. So in this way, I would have here just the value of 500. And everybody knows that that value regards thousands. Okay, so but here let's use like 500,000 and 1 million. There's no problem. And in this way, it's very, very nice to check. Oh, another thing. I want to invert. Oops, not this one. The values here. Switch axis position. On the right side, I believe it's better. So we can see better when the blue line goes to the top. It's not good. It means that at this point, we had a higher cost than forecasted. You see? And in this point that we have the line below the gray line, it means that we are meeting all the cost constraints. Okay? So it means that we are doing good. I believe this picture, this is like one picture that we download from the projects, I believe this was like on July or August. I believe we have that data until August maximum. Okay, so it makes sense that everything here we don't have costs going up because we haven't reached this point with our data. Okay, the actual data stops on August. That's why we have a situation like this. Okay, if you want to let's say filter this and don't want to show the data regarding the months that we are not executing, you can filter this as well, okay? You just need to check the actual cost, I believe. Let me see here if I can show you. If we drag and drop the actual cost to the filter of this chart, let's say that it should be greater than 0, okay? And then we are going to filter. So let's say we have data only until August. This way, we are not going to show the next months that we don't have data uh, because it's the future, okay? Well, let's see here a few uh, a few doubts. Can I get the lesson record and template? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can watch this session more times later. This video will be available for a while, and you can download the materials. I will upload later after I finish this. I will upload on the link that you can find in the description of this video. Okay. Yeah, exactly, melody. It's within the budget. Exactly. And yeah, Bright, are you enjoying the session? Okay. So that's the S curve. Yeah, I think this title should be bold. Yeah, let's leave the titles as bold. Yeah, now it's better, I think. Perfect. So we finally finished the S curve, and now let's start with the Gantt chart. Let's go for the Gantt chart. In the Gantt chart, we need to download. We need to download one extra visual from Microsoft. Let me see what is the exact name. Let me see for the Gantt chart. We need to download, okay, by MAQ software. So you need to, in order to download a new visual from Microsoft Store, you need to sign in, okay? I have one video, if you don't have one account, I have one video here in my channel that I teach you how to create one. If you don't have a corporate account, you can create with your Gmail. So let's open here, get more visuals, okay? Clicking the three dots, get more visuals, and let's download the Gantt chart. Here is very interesting, this store of visuals. So you can type here and look for many type of visuals that you can add to your report. So we are going to use this one, the Gantt chart by MAQ. This is not a sponsored uh, video, okay? And well, when we talk about Gantt chart, there are dozens of options in the Microsoft Store, and there are many great visualization Gantt charts. They are different from each other. Some of them you can customize different fields, add progress bars, and so on. But many of them are paid. Okay, these companies need to pay their bills at the end of the day, so they are paid. And uh, this option that I created here, as you can see, I have used only free features of these visuals, okay? I don't want to tell you to buy anything. Let's try to make the most out of it without paying anything. And I'm going to show you how you can format this in the best way as we can with the features that are available for free. Okay, so let's do it. You can see that now we have this new visual here. And yeah, let's make this very large. And first, let's add the category. The category is the project. Okay, let's open here. The category is the project. Yeah, for now, we don't have anything. We need to keep adding more data. The legend, we will use the manager's names because this way we can differentiate the color for each project and manager. Okay, So let's bring the manager for the legend. And actually, I dragged and dropped the manager instead of the project. Oh my God. Yeah, the first one is the project, and the second one is the manager. And when is the start date? And the start date we are going to get from the tasks, okay? Because that's the fact table that we have. So here we have the start date, drag and drop, and we want the earliest, okay? That's the same of saying minimum date, earliest. And it's going to end with the finish column. Okay, you can see that we already have a few data here. We can't read. And yeah, for now we have the data. So let's start formatting. That's what's going to change this for real. First of all, this section here is too large for the project names. It's too wide, you know, and all the projects are here. So let's see, let's select this visual and let's see which options this visual let me format. We have the column headers. Let's change the color to white. No, this one we cannot change to white because it's here, project. What else? Background color. Let's see if we can change this. Oh yeah, we can. So as we have a dark mode, dark theme, let's use the white color, the white font color here. The bar formatting for each manager, it's looking wrong. For John, we don't have this color. For John, is this color. For Maria, is this one. For Mark, is this one. And for Julia, this purple. Okay. Yeah, category labels, I skip it. This one, let's use white. Yeah, now it's better for reading. Okay. Is expanded. We can expand and turn on and turn off this. Now it's a matter of playing with the visuals. You know, you start exploring and see what this visual is capable of doing or not, and if it's going to be nice with our entire page. Okay, the formatting options are really important. Okay, so yeah, for now the category labels are okay. The scroll position, the scroll position, yeah, it's this thing right here. Let's leave like in the start, the Gantt chart hierarchy. Let's use the month. Yeah, let's use month, and let's turn off the today indicator because we are like in on April of 2024, and our projects here, the values that we have are from the last year, so it doesn't make sense. But if you have a project that the date makes sense to use this, you can turn on. It's interesting. The grid lines. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, let's use the white. Display ratio. Let's leave like 20%. No, 10%. Yeah, now we can see better the projects. Okay, and the sort behavior. We have the independent sorting. Okay, for now, I don't know. Let's leave like this. And let's add the data label. Data label. Yeah, we can add the data label with the percentage of completeness of this project. So if we have, for example, 70%, let's see. This is going to be the comparison of the duration, all right? So we can see which projects are done, which are not, and what is the percentage of advance. Let's see. Okay, but it's still not looking like a real Gantt chart. Let's see why. here we have the, mm, oh yeah, of course, because here we have the start date, which is the earliest start, and the end should be the latest finish. Yeah, yeah, the latest finish. Okay, so now our Gantt chart is starting to get a real look, and let's change. We still need to change here the this background. Yes, one simple solution that I found was to create. So yeah, let's, for example, I will copy and paste this in a new page. You can see in this new page that we had these months here and we cannot change this color. Okay, so that's very, very important. We cannot change. The solution I found for solving this was to add uh, a square uh, that it was in the back of this table. Okay, so yeah, let's test this. I will insert a shape, and here we have a rectangle. So let's add this in the back. Let's add this in the back. Let's change this color for gray. Yeah, and without any border. And now I will send this backward, send to back. And look, now we can read. We can read the months. Okay, so that's one type of adjustment that we need to do because the visual does not allow us to do this. Okay. Uh, I believe in this case we do not need one title. Yeah, this is self-explanatory. Yeah, and also here this is too long. This bar. Yeah, I think we can't do anything about this. The scroll bar here. Yeah, so let's leave like this. Yeah, let's see if we can turn off this legend. We cannot. We cannot turn off this legend here. You can see that it's saying the manager name and the color. And we don't need this because this is also explained here. Okay, we can see which color belongs to each manager. So the one thing that I did was to create buttons on the top of this. Let's see the original project. Here I added these buttons right on the legend. Okay, so that's the one solution. Yeah, so another thing that we still need to do is to turn off this line background color, bar formatting, data label, category label. Yeah, okay, I turn on the hierarchy, and now it's everything in the same color. Okay, now it's better to read. And yeah, here in the category hierarchy, yeah, there's no problem. Okay, now it's a matter of formatting this gray square, yeah, like this, to begin exactly where this line uh, sits. Okay, now it's looking good. And let's create these buttons because we have two types of visualization here. We can choose to visualize using the Gantt chart like this. Oh, look, the color is still wrong. And we can see the table. Okay, so we are going to add these two buttons. But first, let's fix these colors. It's not right. The bar formatting. Yeah, for John, this is your color. John, Julia is right. Maria, and mark. Yeah, now it's all good. The data label. I prefer center, and let's use white font color. Okay, I believe this is better. And that's it. Okay, so now it's starting to look like our original project. And let's add the buttons, insert, blank buttons. Okay, here let's position this on the top of the legend that we don't want to show. The style, we want here no borders. We want some text. Say that this is the button for activating the Gantt chart. And we have, yeah, a white color, it's all right. We also want the fill color, yeah, the fill color of the selected one. Let's use like dark purple, yeah, dark purple, like this. And if the button is not selected, we are going to leave like gray. Okay, so the next one is going to be gray. And this text will be the table. Okay, now we can add the icons that you will find in the in the folder that you can download later. The icon, we want a custom one. So we select a custom, and let's open here the assets. This one is the table. Yeah, the table is right here. And let's see the text. Let's position this text in the middle. Yeah, with more border to the right, 15. In the Gantt chart, let's do the same. Let's open the icon, custom one. Let's add the arrows. Okay, let's fix the text because it's not looking good. We want 15 of margin as well. I believe in this case, we need to make the button larger. Yeah. Let's make them the same size always. Keep the standards. 40, 121. 40, 127. Yeah, 121 width. Okay. And yeah, we have a situation here. This should be in the front. I'm still able to see the legend. Why? This should be sent to the back. Why I am seeing the legend here? This one also to the back. Okay. Anyway, anyway, why I'm seeing this? That's weird. Let me insert a new object. Yeah, there's no problem. Somehow this button is on is not being. Oh yeah, I know why. Because here in the fill color, the transparency is not 0. Yeah, that's it. Transparency, never 0. Okay, that's it. So now we position the table more to the left. And let's change the style of this button. Let's change, not the style, the shape actually. The shape like a rounded rectangle. It's going to look cooler. Okay? Yeah. So the style, I also want to make the font color white. Now it's better to read. Perfect. Now it's getting the shape that we want. Okay. Yeah, let's see the chat. Transparency to 0. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Categories project. Exactly. How about maintenance on these visuals as Power BI is developed with new versions? Most of these visuals, I believe, with these years of experience, I don't see them to crash very often. You see, I didn't have any. problem with them. Uh, yes, and send but the buttons to the front. It was about the transparency, or exactly. So as a data analyst, one must be able to visualize and interpret any industry data. No, you can be focused on one area and then try to be the best as you can in that specific area. Okay, as I am the instructor here, I am trying to cover many different topics, but you don't need to. If you only want to focus on finance dashboards, regarding profit and loss, cash flow, and other numbers related to costs and profitability. Great. There are many possibilities to that. Also about sales, sales funnel, about basket analysis. There are one entire world for you to explore. Okay. Uh, Perfect. So yeah, we have this. Now we are going to create the table. Let's create this new table. I want to, actually, this is a matrix that we call here, okay? But on on the visual part, we call it a table. And in this table, we also have the list of projects, okay? So we have here the projects. We have one one start and one finish date. So let's get the start and the finish date. We have also the manager. Who is the manager? Oh, actually, I was adding in the columns. These are the values. The latest start, earliest start and the latest finish. And we also have the duration, the workload, and the cost. Yeah. So let's bring the actual cost. I believe it's very important first. The percentage. Oh no, actually the we have the duration in days. Yeah, so let's bring the actual duration and let's bring the actual comparison duration. Yeah, actually it's not actual, it's just comparison duration. And this name is going to get very long, so let's abbreviate. And when we say cost, is about the actual cost, duration is the actual duration. You cannot read anything here, so we need to format this table. And to save some time, let me see if I can paste here one format. Yeah, I can. Let me change these columns here for the short date because we can't read anything. The finish and the start, where is it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we can start seeing things. But to do this, we need to open here the View tab, the Selection pane, and here in the Selection pane, we have a list of all the objects that we have in this page. So I will turn off the Gantt chart. Where is it? Let me select the Gantt chart. Okay, it's this one. I will turn off. And I will also turn off this shape. To turn off the visualization, you just need to click here in the eye, okay? And then we can now better see the table that we are creating. Okay, yeah, you can see that we have the totals and we don't want to see the totals, so we gotta delete this. We have here the duration, the cost, and the percentage of duration. Look, in the duration, I have pasted the format from the other file, so it already brought the format of these icons. I'm going to show you how to add these, okay? Don't worry. And let's see the columns here. Let's change the titles. So first we have only the start, we have the finish, we have the manager, we have the cost, the duration, and the percentage of this duration. And we don't need the row of subtotals, we don't need a column of subtotals. And now let's add another column that is going to tell us if this is good or not. That is based on the workload, because in the workload, we just need to monitor if we are uh, dedicating more hours than we should, and the cost is the same rule, okay? So I will add here these other two columns, and the process is very similar. Let me come back here. Let me add the comparison cost. And then as I have pasted the format from the other file, you can see that it has already formatted this as the light colors. So let me show you how I have done this. Let's open here the conditional formatting. First, you need to choose one column. So for example, here, let me position the cost. This is the actual cost, and this is the comparison cost percentage that we have created. So in this case, I want to show if this cost is within the budget or not. That's the thing, the information we want to convey. And you can see that in this project, we have surpassed the comparison, which was the baseline. If I change to the forecast, it's all good, okay? So if I come back to the baseline, it's red. And in this case, I will need to, for example, let's delete and do this from the beginning. I will remove, yeah, all. So this was the information that I have. I had this percentage of the cost for each project. Okay, this is based in the measure that we created. And now I need to click here in the arrow of this column, and let's add a conditional formatting. And this will be based in the icons. Okay, let's create based on icons. And here we can select the style that, yeah, let's change this. This will be like the red light, yellow light, and the green line, the green light. And then this is based in the percentage of the comparison cost, of course. We want to position this as the icon only. We don't want to present the number. Or if we want to present the number, yeah, let's use left of data. And the alignment, let's use in the middle, and let's create the rule. So if the percentage of this project, the duration, no, the cost, if the percentage here, for example, is 5%, it's all good. And if it's like, in this case, 105%, it means that it's bad. We passed the 100% mark. So it means that when we have 100%, it's green. Okay, green light. If it's higher than 100% and equals to less or equals to 105, it's going to be yellow. And it's going to be red when it's more than 105. Okay? And in the last one, we leave like empty without values. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work. Yeah, it's too large. Let's make this larger. Okay, so with this rule, as I have created as my less or equal to 105, it's actually yellow. But if we wanted to be red, this one should be red, it should be minus. It should be less than, okay? Less than 105. And that's it. A bug, Power BI has a bug, okay? When you use percent, you need always to delete the zero values from the start and from the end. Uh, yeah, and why it's not allowing me to hit OK? Mm, what is the problem? Please check the logic. And actually, I prefer to always use numbers here, okay? That's one recommendation. With percentage, sometimes we have a few bugs. So here it's 1, and here it's when it's more than 1, and here is 1.5, and here 1.5 as well. I prefer to always use numbers. When I used percentage in my life, I had some bugs, okay? Yeah, so now it's all good. We have the cost, the duration, and we need the workload. Yeah, in the workload, let's not use any values. Let's leave like this, okay? So now we have these two visuals, and we want to choose either one or the other, okay? And for doing this, we need to add a bookmark, So sometimes we want to present this matrix uh, like this, and we want to present the Gantt chart like this. So this is just a matter of hiding and exhibiting here the objects, okay? And let's do this. First, we are going to need to duplicate these buttons, okay? We're going to need to duplicate. So I will create here another for the table and for the Gantt chart in the exact same place. But these other buttons, I will call this, for example, Gantt off. When the Gantt chart is off, the color should be gray, right? Should be gray. Oops, I changed the text color. The fill color should be gray. It's not this gray. It's not this. It's this one. Yeah. And when we have the table on, we have the blue. The blue, no, no, it's not blue. It's purple. We have the purple. Fill color, purple, like this. Okay. So yeah, let me turn off this. This is like the table off. Let's call this the table off button. And the other one is the Gantt on. Okay. And what happens is that we need to define which of them is going to be visible or not. So let's do this. Let's change. Now we have the table and the Gantt. Okay. So let me turn on these two. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So for this, we need to activate here the bookmarks panel. Here in the bookmarks, let's say that, for example, we want to create now the bookmark, this state for the Gantt chart to be visible. So we are going to select this shape that is important, and using the Control key in your keyboard, select the Gantt chart, select the matrix that is turned off, select the 4 buttons, okay, and you will add a new bookmark, and let's call this Gantt on. Okay, and now let's create the Gantt off. Oh, and just one thing before this, let's right click of our mouse and select use only for the selected visuals, because this bookmark will only have effect on these visuals that we have selected here. okay? And we don't want to save the data as well, because this impacts the filter. Later, you can have some problems. And yeah, the selected visuals. So remember, selected visuals and not data, okay? And now let's do the opposite. When it's the opposite is when we have these two guys turned off and the matrix turned on, okay? So you also need to select these the 7 visuals, and add a new bookmark, which will be the Gantt, the table on, okay? And now let's add the functions here in the button. When I am seeing the table, I need to add the function in the Gantt button. Gantt button, let's add this function of a bookmark to the Gantt on. So if I click here, turns on the Gantt chart. If I am seeing the Gantt chart, it means that I want to go to the table view. So let's turn on here the bookmark for this table. Bookmark for this table, and let's enable the Gantt on. Okay, I'm sorry, the table on. And if I click here in the button, now I visualize the table. Let me hide all the menus. Gantt chart, table. Gantt chart, table. Okay, let's see some comments. We still have 80 people online. I know that I am over the time already. Don't the buttons have a selected value to use for conditional formatting? No, not yet. Instead of having create 2 versions. Actually, you can add the conditional formatting. Yes, I believe so. However, I don't have any means to understand which is the table value and what is the Gantt chart value to be turned on. You see? But let's open here in the style field. Yes, you can turn on this conditional formatting. However, you need to create one measure, for example, one parameter to decide, to check if the table is enabled or not. And for doing this, I haven't figured out one way, okay? So that's why I still create 2 buttons, actually 4. Yeah, that's it. So great. To finish this page, let's create another button. I will copy and paste this one. And because this button will lead us to the next page. Okay, this will be, let's change this style first. This will be like, let's change the action. This will be a drill through, okay, a drill through button. And this button will lead us to this next page, to the page 2, because here we have the portfolio, okay? This is the portfolio page, portfolio. And the second page will be the project details, okay? And when we select one project in this list, we should be able to go for the next page, okay? We are not able to go to the next page using the menu. We are not. So let's create this new button, the drill through. And the action, the destination here will be the project details. And to Power BI understand this, I need to create this new page and bring here the column that I want to drill through. It means that the column, I want the rest of the project to be filtered based in the last page, okay? So we want to get the details of the project. So let's go for the D projects and select here the project and drag and drop to the here you let me do this once again. You can see that we have the add drill through fields. Okay, let me drag and drop here the project. And yeah, you can see that we have the empty page, but Power BI included this back button. So let's go back to the portfolio. And here, now let's select the button. I believe this will appear. Yeah, now we can add the destination of project details. Okay. Okay. And now we can add the text. So for example, when it's enabled, it's going to show A, and disable B. Just to test. Let's change the style, the fill color. Let's insert. Okay, oh yeah, for this one will not work. Let me see. When it's disabled, yeah, of course. So to format this button, we have two states. When we don't have any project selected, it's like in the disabled state. So when you open the style, you need to select the disabled state and select here the color that you want. Okay, the color or uh, the uh, the the details and whatever. And oops, let me change this color then. So when it's not enabled, I want to be like this as well. Okay, and let's add this text. When it's disabled, it means that the user should select one project to check the details. Okay, and let's not use icon in this one. And yeah, the color, okay, so when we have the project selected, I will select here one project. Now it's green. So let's change this when it's on, let's see, when it's on hover, we change this to green. Yeah, it's a good color, but we are using this color for John. Let's use another color. Let's use maybe. Oh, actually, it's not the on hover that is changing. Is on press maybe? No, default. Yeah, default. It's in the default state. Okay, so let's use this green, very dark green. In the text, let's use the click to see the details of this project. Okay, so now we have defined the text for the default state and for the disabled state. Okay, so if I select here, I can see, and if I click, it's going to send me to the next page. And now we can build the next page. And I believe this is going to take a few more minutes. Okay, and just one last thing, let me uh, turn off this text here because we don't need this tooltip. Yeah, so this will also work if we select one project here in the Gantt chart, okay? So we can select one and click here to see the details. Great, so let's go for the next page. I will load the canvas background that we have here for the details, the transparency fit, transparency to 0 and fit. And this back button, let's position right here on the top. I want to add the project name that it's selected here. So let me add a label, a card, one card here with the project. If I just bring here the project, Power BI will automatically get this value, okay? Because it will be filtered already. Like in this case, I selected security rules in the last page. So yeah, let's select fuel pump. Fuel pump. Now you can see that's fuel pump here. And yeah, the category value. Oh, and not this card. I prefer the multi-row card. Yeah, this one looks better. The callout value as white. The category label. Mm, yeah, why it's purple? The color. Yeah, now it's better. Okay, let's make this larger. 18. Perfect. Now let's position the project name. Okay, and these three visuals, let's copy and paste from the first page. Okay, there is no secret, but in this case, these visuals will only show the values for that specific project. Okay, we don't need to filter anything. And let's add the other project details right here. So I will, let's show, I will check here, for example, fuel pump. See project details. I will add the beginning, the finish date, the status, the task in this card. Let's add this card then. So this is the beginning, the start date. Okay, we don't want this. We just want the earliest start date. Perfect. And we want the finish date, but we don't want the hierarchy. We want just the latest finish date. Perfect. And we want how many tasks? How many tasks? The sum of tasks. So we are going to count the distinct tasks. We have 21. Here we have 23 for the fuel pump. What is wrong? Oh yeah. Here we should count the rows, not the distinct names. That's it. And we also need the status. Status is ongoing. The status comes from the D project. Perfect. And now it's a matter of fixing here the details, the labels, okay? And let's add the picture of the project manager, okay? And for this, we also need to download a new visual that is the image. If we type here image, we have here the simple image. That is very simple. We just need to click in this and add, okay? And how it works, we need just to add the URL of this image, and Power BI will get this image that we want. So let's add here from the managers table, image URL, and here we have, okay? Let's fit this. And let's see what else do we have to present. We have, yeah, her name and her area. Okay, so let's copy and paste this format here with the manager name and the area of this project. Okay, perfect, perfect. Let me see the chat. If you guys are still with me. If your video becomes blurry, change your YouTube settings. I am broadcasting this with great speed, okay? Yes. If the operators were the same that caused the error. Can we get some module of Power BI beside the videos? What do you mean? Are you enrolled in the complete program? Angela, the operators were the same that caused the error. Yeah, I believe we have solved this already. Very insightful. Don't the buttons have a selected value to use for conditional? No, the buttons here in this case, they work if we have a slicer. The slicer, we can get the selected value, but with buttons, we can't check if they are selected or not already. Okay. Is it the only way to flick between buttons using the bookmark option? Yes, until this point, Microsoft hasn't invented another option, okay, another solution. Uh, yeah, yeah, until the end, hashtag until the end. Thank you very much, Chipso. Yes, thank you, Dlamini and Emmanuel. Great. Let's finish this because we already completed. Look, if I click here, remember, if you are using your Power BI desktop and you want to interact with buttons, you need to press Control and click, okay? And then you can click in the button. So let's select the warehouse rebuild. I will select the warehouse rebuild, click to see the details. Here we have warehouse rebuild and all the costs, the duration. You can see that the duration is already 100% workload as well, but the cost didn't close in the desired state. And here we have our colleague, Mark, okay? Yeah, great. So now we are going to do the last part. The last part, we are close to the end. Don't uh, don't let me see this. Let's check what we have here for the last part. It's the detail of the Gantt chart or the table for all the tasks. Okay. So this will be very similar to what we have done in the last page. So I will copy and paste. Okay, I will copy and paste that because it will be very useful. Let me copy. So here I am visualizing only uh, Gantt, the Gantt chart, right? So yeah, let me copy this and I will paste. And now let's replace things. Actually, position. Let's position them. In this page, we don't need this button for the details. The Gantt chart will have a much bigger area, right? We'll have a much bigger area. And what else? Here I have the gray square. This gray square needs to be longer as well. And yeah, let's start adding the data in the Gantt chart. So here, instead of the project, we need the tasks. So let's bring the task, okay? And then we have this full list of 22 tasks. Oh, and I forgot to change here the title, tasks. It's not count of tasks, just tasks, okay. And here we have the list of tasks. And yeah, but you can see that they are not well ordered. This sequence is not very friendly. It's not good for visualizing. It's confusing. It's weird. It's not following some pattern. Okay. So let's add the task int UI ID. Let's see what's going to cause. When we add the task UI ID, or it's the EDT, let me see. No, I think it's the task ID. We can sort these tasks based in the ID, okay, because they have a sequence of uh, that is based on the date, a time sequence. So let's change because you can see that after I have added the task ID to the category, look, we have two categories, the task and the task ID. We still have like a hierarchy here, and this is not good for reading. So we need to, uh, there's an option here. that is the hierarchy layout. We need to turn off. And now we can make them to stay in the same row. Let's call this ID. And we can, let me zoom this for you to see. We can, yeah, leave like this, okay? So now they are ordered based on the ID, and it's making more sense when we see the Gantt chart, okay? That's it. So let me see what we can still improve here. Yeah, this is like the finished project, so it's almost everything at 100%. Let's open another project. Let's open this one with 23 security rules. Yeah. Okay, so with this one, we can see that we have reached until this point of the project. The seventh task is still not done, the plan executions and so on. Okay, and as I told you, if you purchase for the visual, this is the free version. You can start adding more features that is going to improve your dashboard. So, for example, you can add a different color when the task is not 100% done. That's really useful. So, for example, if we could change this color of the 0% task, it would be much better to visualize. Do you agree? So this could be really nice. Perfect. Yeah, guys. So now we also have to add here the table, and in the table, I will use this table as an inspiration, and I will paste here, and we have to do the same process. Okay, the same process. Let me open the selection. Let me turn off the Gantt chart. Let me hide the Gantt chart. Where is it? Okay, this one, these buttons I need to turn off, and also this shape. I can call this square, okay, just to know. Yeah, so now I can format the table. And yeah, in this case, we want to bring the tasks. Yeah, like this. We have the costs. All right. And oh, of course, we need the task ID. In yeah, and here, let me see, row header banded. No, we need to turn off these. Mm, we need to turn off the plus minus icon. We need to, let me see, where is it? Let me see in my options in the original project because I can't remember everything right now. Oh yeah, for the original file, I used a table, not a matrix. So that's a table. Yeah, this one is easier to format. Okay, so we have here the task ID, and then we have the task itself. We don't need the totals. Turn off the totals. We have the start, the finish. We have the manager, and so on. Yeah, we have a situation here. The format, like 100%, it's yellow, but 100% should be equal to the green line. Yeah, so oops, the cost. Conditional formatting, icons, here is like this. And yeah, mine less than or equal to 1 is green. It's good, okay? And that's it. We also should change this in the first page. In the first page, the cost, when it's 100%, conditional formatting, icons, when less or equal, and here is just when it's after 100%. Now it's correct. And here we just need to duplicate the buttons that we already have for the table off and table and Gantt on. I will copy these buttons from the other page. It will be easier. So yeah, I will copy these two buttons because they are done. And I just need to position this here. And let's add the function because we still don't have the bookmark. So let's rename this. Let's rename Gantt on first page, okay? Because now we need to create for the second page. And then that's it. We finish our project. Well, it took 2 hours and a half already, way more than I expected. But I believe you guys enjoyed, right? I hope so. Let me see. And don't worry, this video will be available for you to rewatch all over again. Okay? Thank you, Anika. I will go back to the comments in a little bit. Let me just finish this step. So yeah, when the situation is like this, let's open the selection pane. We have here the Gantt on, Gantt off, the table. Using the Control key, you should select all these objects, okay? From the square to the last button that we created. When we have the table, it should be like this. So I will add this new bookmark that is the table on second page. And when we have these two buttons turned off, the table turned off, and the rest of them turned on, now I should select all the 7 visuals once again and create a new bookmark that is the Gantt on second page. Okay, yeah, we have done it. Okay. So we didn't add the function. Let's add the bookmark here in this button because this is from the first page. Let's use the table on from the second page. And now it's working. And this Gantt chart also for the second page. And now control click and it works perfectly. Okay, guys, I really hope that this can help you to bring more ideas to your real projects, to make your project stand out. You know, this is going to take your projects to the next level. I'm pretty sure, pretty sure. Look at this. This is totally professional, and I showed you that I created this on PowerPoint, the background, totally doable for anyone. You have seen step by step how I created each visual. You know, it's a very simple chart. I use it here, but it's very nice for visualizing the data. Very simple and clear. Shows the message real clearly. Do you agree? And we have used simple visuals, but we make it fancy. You see? And yeah, for ending, I would add here like an empty square, you know, just to hide that, to hide this. There's no problem in doing this. But anyways, as I was telling you, this you can make your project real really to stand out and go to the next level. Okay, so let's go to the chat. Let's see the doubts. Mm, yes, this option of selecting the button or not is available on Access Surgeon. Yeah. Yes, Microsoft has a list of suggestion from the users, and they are always delivering every month one update. So it will not surprise me if we get one update on this. Okay, very soon. Yes, thank you, Doreen, until the end. Thank you, Zirgol. Yes, Doreen shared the link to the data. Yeah, I will upload the data right now. Okay, let me upload right now. So let me see if let me compact this folder to this zip folder, and let me add here to the link. Perfect. Okay, so the zip file is already available for you to download, and if you want to start applying, to start executing the project right now, you can do. Okay. Thank you, Anika, very much. Thank you, Doreen. Thank you, Asin. Thank you, MM. I don't know your name. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Penelope. You are always supporting in the chat. Thank you very much and for all the kindness. Thank you, Melody. Yes. Yeah, I really hope this new project can help you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Shamila. Thank you, Bright. Why visualization of the video becomes blurred? Because this is based on your connection, and sometimes if YouTube player thinks that it is best to lower the quality and keep the transmission, it's going to happen. Okay. Thank you, Asim. Thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah, guys, thumbs up in the video, please. And I am almost reaching 10,000 subscribers in my channel. So if you can please subscribe, it will help me to reach the 10,000 number. Okay, 10,000 mark. Yeah, thank you, Okikai. Okay, last questions. Last minutes here for the questions. This class already took 2 hours and 40 minutes. Uh, yeah, and if you are a student from the complete course, you can download this on Hotmart. Okay, please download from Hotmart. Let me show you once again. Uh, I will share this in the in our WhatsApp group. Okay. I will share this in our WhatsApp group. If you are a student from the complete course and you are not in the WhatsApp group, there is the link in the first class of Hotmart, okay? Or you can just text me. Okay, we have people, Melody, subscribed since day one. Excellent. Thank you, Amra. Thank you, Tefo. Okay, guys, I see that we don't have any other question, and it was a big pleasure to talk to you again. The next topic, I believe, will be about people analytics, a very nice dashboard for people analytics. And I see you soon, okay? And bye bye.